Samsung is more than a household name in South Korea. Its reach extends from technology to hospitals and even sports teams. The saying here goes, what's good for Samsung is good for the country, even if it might involve some questionable dealings with the highest levels of government.
When you have political leadership on one hand and then an economic leadership closely cooperating with each other, you can achieve a lot of things in a very faster pace. And that kind of delivery was something that we needed during the earlier part of the industrialization.
Jae Lee's family maintains its control of the group of dozens of companies through a complicated web of cross-shareholdings. The prosecution in this case accused Lee of effectively bribing the former president Park Geun-hye in exchange for government support of a merger of two of those companies. It said that helped him cement his grip on power and shore up his succession plan, with his father in hospital since 2014. Lee was accused of paying or promising about $38 million to Park's close friend Choi soon-sil. It's part of the corruption scandal that sparked mass protests and eventually led to Park's impeachment. Lee admitted to making the payments, but said they were not bribes. His lawyers painted him as a victim of Park's abuse of power. More and more people in South Korea are now demanding those who abuse their power be held accountable.
Younger generation and more people are realizing that what's good for Samsung is not necessarily good for Korea in the long run. Now, justice, fairness, and openness is much more important.
But even with its de facto leader behind bars since February, the company continued to do well. Samsung Electronics recently announced record operating profits, largely analysts say because Jae Lee wasn't needed to make day-to-day decisions. Former President Park and her friend Choi are facing separate trials, and the verdict here is likely to have an effect on their outcomes. Novak, Al Jazeera, Seoul.